Hi, welcome back to my channel. I am back with a reading for the Masculine Collective, and the card I pulled for the Masculine was the Forest. And the Forest to me is an extremely rich card. There are so many different layers within the forest, it's kind of like an ecosystem altogether on its own. And that's also the energy that I'm getting with the Masculine Collective. It's almost as if, if we could compress all of the masculines together, all of the individuals on earth together into one, what I'm hearing is that we would be at our most abundant stage ever in our evolution. And I'm really feeling drawn to the rainbow sky in this card. Hopefully you can see it. The light is very shifting and changing, and I think that that's part of the energy of the reading. It feels like that's a synchronicity. There's a lot of shifting of the light within the different individuals, within the different masculines, but also, or actually what I'm feeling is like the light is shifting within all the available spaces on earth at this point in time. And so some of us, if we have a lot of space, if we're very expansive, this might be a time when we feel like we're holding the entire rainbow, and it's just like this unicorn energy. And if we have a smaller space, we might be very focused on diving into and exploring one of the different rays. And so at this point in time, I feel that everything is relative. Everything is unique within the masculine. And that is actually why I love to see the forest. It's very interesting. So I want to start to pull some cards and see what needs to be spoken about, because there's so much within the forest. Like I said, it's so rich. So let's see. Okay, card flew out. Ooh, wow, okay, the Mother of Cups. This is unexpected. I don't know, but it feels so unexpected, this Mother of Cups. Underneath the deck, wow, it's the Fool. And I'm also just seeing like the Father of Swords behind the Fool just staring at me, just like, what are you gonna do? The Father of Swords. I feel that the Father of Swords, this is kind of the energy of a king. To me, the Father of Swords, it's like, he's kind of like the highest king of them all, the most expanded king, he's the king of air. He has the biggest space, I guess we can say. He is able to hold the rainbow, because it's almost as if his mind is just constantly in expansion. It's never still. It's constantly shifting and regrowing itself and transforming. And so I feel that this kind of a force, this kind of a king energy, is just looking at the individuals, us within the Masculine Collective, and he's just saying, so what are you gonna do, about this time? Are you gonna become the Fool, or are you gonna become the Fool? It's like this energy as well. The Father of Swords, he's such a kind of a trickster, and the same with the Fool. Is kind of like a trickster energy, it's a joker energy, is the energy, the unexpected, the thing that stands outside of our current mind. So I feel that with these cards, it's also something, you know, because when I look at the screen, I feel again that this with the light is some kind of a synchronicity. And so it feels like within the masculine collective, now is the time where our face, you know, will darken a bit. It's like our surface, our, you know, that the surface that we portray to the world has a potential to darken. We're in that kind of a time. It feels like actually a very testing time for us as individuals. It's like, again, the Father of Swords is like, what are your choice going to be? What part of these different rays are you going to choose to hold space for? You know, what time are you creating for yourself? And so I feel that the Mother of Cups is really that internal feminine energy that will allow us to really become aware of what energies we are actually choosing. So let's see if I can turn the light on a little bit here. Like this. You know, it's like with the Mother of Cups, with this water. It's interesting, right? Because it's like the Father of Swords, he's just all air. You know, he's old. No, he's old, okay, he's old. But he's all expansive. But the Mother of Cups, she's all water. She's all life. So it's like these two forces meeting each other. The expansive, the ever expansive mind, and the, you know, ever evolving life is like having a point of it's a point of meeting outside of time and space is what I'm feeling. And so this is interesting, right? I think that for us as individuals, for us as masculine energies, this is a really good time to tune into our feeling body, and maybe even to practice our ability to translate, you know, feelings into logic, you know, to translate intuition into, in a sense, science. You know, there's a merging point here between these two, between the ultra feminine and the ultra masculine. It's interesting. Let's see what more comes out. Justice underneath the deck. And with the Son of Pentacles, oh my god, okay, that's the feeling. Yeah, I was feeling this like wave of darkness coming, and I only saw the Son of Pentacles, and then I was like, yeah, the devil was behind it. And so, this is creepy, this energy, though. This energy is tricky. It's like, it feels like a lot of people are gonna get lost in the forest at this time. You know, sometimes in the forest, it can be really hard to navigate. We can become trapped in the old growth, you know, in the old time, inside our old mind, inside an old vibration, you know, a past timeline, a past life. And if we're not aware, you know, if we're not in our king energy, in our energy of constantly questioning ourselves, constantly observing ourselves, then I think that the chances are high that we might get lost. Especially with these two cards, the Devil and the Son of Pentacles in reverse. Ooh, this is like, It's such a difficult energy to explain. I guess I have to work on my Father of Swords a little bit here because, ooh, okay, I'm very light now suddenly. Let's just turn the light down a little bit. Because this is an energy that tricks you. You know, it tricks your own mind. This is an energy of ego. You know, it's an energy that tricks the ones that it tricks the ones that are just following their own mind without questioning it. You know, this is what I feel can be like a real danger at this point in time, because it's like the mind represents the old growth, you know, the old forest in a way, what has been. But are we sure that that is what we want to move into for what is to come? I feel that it's very important at this point in time to stand in our power, and sometimes that means with the Son of Pentacles not moving forward, you know, standing still so that we can become aware of our inner demons, you know, the projections that we hold in our mind, you know, what we think of others. These projections, our thoughts of others, they are ours, you know, they are part of our karma. And so if we follow them, if we just let them drive us without questioning our own mind, then you know, it's almost as if we're moving into a state of disempowerment, a state of just, you know, just foolish. Because we're not seeing that we hold the power of our own mind. And if we don't want, you know, to create based on the vibrations of our projections, then it's really, I feel, a good idea not to act based on them. Because that's how we kind of avoid, this is what I'm feeling, avoid linking ourselves to these dark past timelines. Yeah, this energy is creepy, so be mindful. And justice, oh yeah, I forgot, and justice underneath. It's very like, it's very tricky energy, but at the same time it's very merciless, it's very sharp. This is also the case with the King of Swords. It's like you chose it, you were not in your power, you didn't question yourself, you were simply following the old growth of your mind, and now you will be served what you deserve based on that. It's very like this, it's very like this, but there is also, like I said, this other force right now, which is the Queen of Cups, and she is like the polar opposite of this. She is like an energy that we can connect. I feel like she's almost like, you know, the divine feminine. It's like an energy that we can connect to, that will just give us everything that we need in order to just understand, to grow, to find our way. But it all comes from within. You know, we have to create the space and the time to connect to this energy. This is we're only able to connect to this through patience, is what I feel, through softness, through humbling ourselves. So let's see if we can make it a bit lighter again. Yeah, this energy is so creepy. The Seven of Swords. I think that because this and the Two of Swords underneath the deck, yeah, it's like, I feel like this is almost like an eclipse energy. It's like the moon, our own subconscious, is going to come in front of the sun, you know, our light. And we're just gonna see our own reflection, is what I'm feeling. You know, we're just gonna see our own mind reflected back to us in our external world. And this is how, in a sense, you know, we will, it feels like being tricked a little bit. You know, it's like being tricked, being driven to act and to manifest. But if we're not pure, we're gonna manifest a lot of things that will spiral us down quickly, is what I feel. You know, but on the other side, if we are pure, or if we are willing to be cautious, be mindful, be humble, you know, tune into these two energies, then, and in a sense, maybe with the Seven of Swords, you know, pull back and hide if we feel like, ooh, this energy is too creepy, you know, I don't know if I can handle this. I feel like the advice is to pull back a little bit and to observe and to take a moment, because with that we have the opportunity of, you know, becoming wiser, tuning into these two kind of spirit guides, I feel, or it's like these two are collective. I'm hearing deities, but it's like energies that are working very closely with the earth at this point in time. It's like the king and the divine feminine. Could feel a little bit like, again, this is coming through so much for me lately, but it's like that Christ consciousness. You know, that the feminine and the masculine variations of the Christ consciousness. It's like it's trying to come into earth, into our spaces, and kind of become a part of the growth for the future, the mind of the future, the matrix of the future that we are creating right now. And so if we hold space for that within our lives, this is a time when we can also choose to spiral up really quickly, you know, to make really good investments for ourselves, because we recognize, you know, the layers of the light that exists at this point in time. We see what are all timelines, we see what are denser vibrations. We are not so easily tricked, I feel, by our own mind. You know, this kind of like, and this kind of like, I'm feeling also this very, you know, patriarchal energy that is like, I know everything. You know, it's like always thinking that he is right and that everyone should listen to him. It's like that kind of an energy right now. Oof, oof. That is like a trickster energy, really a trickster energy that that has the potential, I feel, to spiral us down quickly. So let's see if there are any more messages that we need to know for the masculine collective. My camera turned off, sorry. I was saying, interesting, these cards are very, well, yeah, interesting. We have the Son of Wands underneath the deck, then we have the Sun in reverse, and the Ten of Swords, and then the Six of Swords. And so what I'm feeling with these cards is that, first of all, I'm feeling kind of like the Son of Wands is the new light. Again, we're getting these very elemental archetypes here, you know, the Mother of Cups, the King of Air. The Son of Wands is like double fire, double water, double air. it's very like it's like, but the double earth, you know, the page of earth is not here, and so it's almost like we are shifting. It's like we're shifting out our air, we're transforming our air, our mind, we're transforming our oceans, you know, our inner womb space, and our emotions and our flow, and we're also transforming our fire, you know, our desire, the way we deal with our desire and wants and dreams and energy. These areas feels like they are shifting, and it seems as if it is to prepare for the big shift, which is the shift of the earth, you know, the shift of the body itself. And so it's almost like all of these layers of ourselves as a being are things that we have somewhat more control over. You know, we can, for instance, choose to shift our mind, to create new growth within our mind. You know, we can learn new things, we can practice new habits with the Son of Wands. We can yeah, you understand what I mean. These are things that we kind of, you know, we have choice of. And so it's how we deal with the choices that we have right now that really determines the earth that we are creating for ourselves. And by earth, I do really feel that this is referring to our own bodies. You know, that the environment that we hold as a result of our own choices, as an authority, you know, as an individual, as a king of our own kingdom. And so again, it really feels like this very sharp energy, like now is your time, now it is your choice, now it is just you that are deciding what kind of an environment you are creating for your inner selves, you know. So with these cards coming out, I feel that the sun particularly, it came out in reverse. And so when I look at this, it feels as if instead of like beaming outwards and radiating outwards, it's like turning into a black hole, like sucking inwards, you know, introverting. And it feels like it's calling back the devil, to be honest. You know, this is that archetype that I spoke about, that like, I know it all, you know, I don't have to learn, I don't have to listen, I don't have to be humble. You know, my word is your truth, kind of. It's like that God, patriarchal God archetype. And if we look around us today, it's actually quite normal. You know, sometimes I play it out as well. So I think probably all of us, we have experienced this archetype in some kind of way. We have knowledge with it. But now it really feels like this archetype is becoming so much more karmic. And it's because it's a giant block, you know, for all of these expansive energies, and particularly, you know, the king energy, the new king. If we think that we already know it all, there's no point for us to learn anything, you know, we don't. You know, it's like then we kind of block ourselves from our higher potential, and the only path that we have in front of us is, you know, decomposition or like breaking down, descending, introverting. And so again, the energy is harsh right now. It's merciless, really. And so just be mindful, particularly of this archetype, this patriarchal archetype, to just keep your eye on it. You know, I feel like there's no need to react or anything. Just keep your eye on it and observe it, and learn about it, because this is what I feel. Again, it's like if we can expand even through watching or feeling or interacting with this energy, then it's like we are overcoming it. You know, we're more than it, we're bigger than it, it doesn't own us. But if it kind of begins to suck us in, you know, then that shows us that we're somehow tied to it, that there's some part of our mind or emotional body or trauma or whatever habits that are intertwined with it, and that's how it has this pull on us. And so this way we can actually become quite aware rather quickly of the areas where we are attached to this patriarchal energy, because I reckon that most of us are in some way. It's such a prevalent energy, so it's only natural that we do carry remnants of this within our own space. And so I feel that this awareness, this understanding, seeing of that, you know, is actually what allows us to shed it. To become immune to it is actually the word I want to use, because it's like when we overcome something, we can see it, we can feel it, it can be right in our space, and it doesn't trigger us anymore. It's just like, it's there, I understand it, but you know, there's nothing for me to learn about it anymore, in a sense. It's like it doesn't provoke me, it doesn't invoke anything in me. And with that, I feel that we move into the Six of Swords. And it reminds me so much, it's so similar, I feel, to the forest. It's like the old growth, you know, the old mind is down there in the darkness, but there are also, and you know, it can be hard to navigate, it can be hard to see what is what. But when we learn to do that, you know, when we are willing to do that, eventually we begin to move up into this light, into this new consciousness. All of these different rays that I feel are created as a result of understanding. You know, it's really, that's the key, I feel, understanding this devil, this demon. It's not about judging or pointing finger, it's truly about understanding, you know, forgiving. And that's what creates this Six of Swords energy, you know, it's just like floating on still waters. Again, you know, not stormy, not provoked, just calm and still and at peace. And so these are challenging times, I think, for all of us. The main advice I guess I would give based on this reading is just, you know, create time to connect to these forces, in a sense, or these types of guides, you know, these bigger elemental energies, because they, I feel, can really help us navigate at this time. They can really help us to begin to integrate this new light, this rainbow light, and to understand more of the old growth, so that we can kind of overcome it instead of becoming it. That's what I feel. So take care, guys, you know, be mindful, and yeah, I'm sure that you're able to navigate, so just take it slow. Don't be afraid to take your time at this time. I think that's like the main thing. So yeah, I talk to you soon. Goodbye.